Hi, welcome back to World of the Psychic.
Together we shall cast ourselves into the future.
Seen any aliens lately?
This is a part of America we never get to see.
Are you by chance referring to the legend of the Loch Ness Monster?
A ball of twine that weighs 19,000 pounds.
What is this, nerd porn?
It is about the Templar treasure, but it's also about other things, conspiracy theories, urban legends, and other myths that are true.
You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the
Travel Oddities Podcast.
And welcome back to the Travel Oddities Podcast. Good morning, good evening, good day.
Good day.
Good day?
You said welcome back like we left.
Well, we did.
It's only like a 22-second intro.
They don't know what we did, though. You know, with editing, it makes it seem like, you know, we could have did this yesterday. Oh, wait a second. We did. Let's be honest.
What would you like to be honest about?
This
is like the 15,000th time that we've done this intro?
No. But more importantly, more to the point, normally we go, how was your weekend? Great. How was yours? Average.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a little bit, I have a poor self-esteem and a poor self-worth. Nothing I do is exciting. I cut myself again. No. But let's be real. We spent half of the weekend together. We were working on Travel Oddities.
Okay. I seriously need the clip, the sound effect.
Of
me shaking my head. Why can you not say we were working on the podcast all weekend long?
Instead of saying we were together?
We were together all weekend.
Okay, wait a second. Now, if people that are listening, the ones that are, do that. And then I'll screenshot the reaction to a post that I made earlier. So just real quick, and then we'll move on. So, for those of you who may or may not know, I work in radio. I'm also an on-air personality when I'm not doing this.
Oh my God! Okay.
So I'm rubbing my own shoulders right now. So
is that what you call it?
I use Facebook as a platform to let people know, hey, I'm going to be on the air here, or I'm going to be here. Come see me, listen in, whatever. So I announced I'm going to be on a radio station, one of our sister stations that I work at. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in. Be there.
Okay.
So I get a reaction.
No.
No, stop.
You stop. Stop.
No.
Stop. You do it to me all the time. I'm doing it to you.
I'd give you a heart.
No, you interrupt me all the time. All the time. So.
Somebody put a heart on Okay, go ahead.
I just want to know how long you've been doing yoga. Because you really have your stretching abilities down that you're able to reach all the way down with your head
and perform certain acts
on yourself,
certain acts of or feats of self-greatness.
Right.
Amy, is that a word? Tell me if it's a word, Amy. Anyway, so Harley reacts to my post unlike anyone else I had multiple people like. Are you leaning to fart, or is it your back hurting? Well, he's kind of leaning to the side like you're trying to let one squeeze out, or I can't tell if it's your back.
It's my back.
Okay, your lower back, like the part where your sphincter is. Anyway, so he reacted to my post as any best friend would, with a heart, which means love to me. So yes, I can say we were together.
No, it means that I love the fact that you're going to be on air during a time that human beings are awake.
But the problem with Facebook, and you and I have talked about this at length, we could do a show over the oddity that is Facebook. The problem with Facebook is if somebody posts, I got gutted from my crotch to my neck, there's until recently, there's only been one reaction to that, like. So you like that I did, or are you in support of my recovery? What's the situation? Now that you've explained it, I understand. The bottom line is federal court, Supreme Court, says that two men can say they're together. Okay, we were together this weekend.
Okay.
As a partnership that involved the podcast. So anyway, speaking of things that are
What?
Interesting.
Okay.
Let's do the news.
Okay, we'll jump into the news.
News. Sorry.
News.
I'm your Venus. I'm your fire. Your desire.
You missed a word in that, but okay.
What did I? Please enlighten me, banana.
What was that exactly? Okay, so news from Gizmodo, August 5th, from Maddie Stone. Headline: There's growing evidence that Venus was once.
Did you say V-nuts?
V-nuts.
You didn't
I don't know
say
what I
V-nuts. Go ahead.
There's growing evidence that Venus was once habitable.
You can say habitable, but I can't say eighth. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. If you could hop in a time-traveling spacecraft, go back 3 billion years and land any place in our solar system, where would you want to end up? Earth, with its barren continents and unbreathable atmosphere, Mars, a chillier version of its big brother, or Venus?
Venus, the goddess of love.
Yes.
Take me to your leader. It's all women.
Okay, so Venus has a reputation for being a toxic hellscape, but 3 billion years ago, it may have been the best piece of real estate in our solar system, or at least a close second to Earth. The hypothesis has been around for years. It's gaining traction thanks to climate models developed by researchers at NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies.
I'm sorry. I have the word V-nuts.
V-nuts.
Great idea, by the way.
Okay.
V-nuts. Roasted V-nuts. But the problem, I'm working on it. It's still there. Go ahead.
Okay. So these models show that for 2 billion years, Venus could have been balmy, Earth-like, with temperatures similar to Earth and liquid water oceans. Despite getting dosed with 40% more solar radiation than Earth is today, but it depends on whether the Venus of old spun as slowly as the modern Venus does.
I've got you now.
Why?
Yeah, I'm in your head.
What are you doing?
Because when you get to Venus, I can feel you getting to the word. Like you're like Venus. Like if you slowed it, it's like Venus.
No.
You're trying hard not to say V-nuts now.
No, I'm not. But you keep moving your hands around, and I think you're doing it because I'm doing it.
I'm just trying to sling a web. While you're doing the news, go.
Okay, so the habitability of Earth and Mars have changed throughout the lifetime of the solar system. Geologic evidence suggests that Mars was much wetter in the distant past. Although whether the red planet had liquid water oceans or was frozen under a mantle of ice is still a matter of debate. Earth, meanwhile, has swung from hothouse to icehouse and back, all the while accumulating oxygen in its atmosphere and becoming a more favorable place for complex life.
Favorable. Habitable. V-nuts. Go.
While the study doesn't actually confirm that Venus was once habitable, it does point to a plausible scenario in which Venus could have been. And it's worth noting what?
I thought you were going to say. I was like, because we had habitable, plausible. Now I thought you were going to say Venus could have been habitable. I've heard habitable more times in the last 5 minutes than I've heard in the last 5 years.
Why is it that I can't get through this news
I don't know why. That's why I'm giving you all the space you need.
Okay, so the gist of it is that, what, V-nuts? Does that help you?
Go ahead.
The gist of it is that we need more information to find out. But it could have been that life got started on Venus and then seeded Earth, or vice versa, 3 billion years ago or so. And if Venus was a balmy paradise for billions of years, you kind of have to wonder what sort of apocalypse led to its current iteration.
Caitlyn Jenner has V-nuts. Just an example. I was trying to use the word in a sentence, so it didn't just sound like we're throwing something out there. Go ahead.
Okay, so in plots of the habitable zone,
Golly.
You typically see Venus on the outside, and for modern day Venus, that's certainly true. But if you have a Venus-like world around a solar-type star with a slow rotation, it could be quite reasonable for life to exist there.
Are you sure that was horseradish sauce on your roast beef sandwich at Arby's? Sorry. Could have been that V-nut sauce. What?
So once again,
yes,
scientists want to analyze rocks from Venus for comparison to look back at the history, so to speak.
Again, can we go back? Can we show our kids that we can land somewhere? There are legitimate, millennials that may never see, I thought maybe in our lifetime we might see us touch down on another planet. Because if you think about it, this trip to Mars thing, this going to Mars thing's been going along for a long time. When was that first Mars rover? Years ago.
I want to say 99.
99, so 17,
but
almost 18 years.
Number out of my.
Well, okay. I mean, there's somebody out there that's got the answer right now, and I'm, they're either quietly saying it themselves or they're screaming it in expletives or in a Maine, Connecticut accent. Chowder. Anyways, no, but seriously, I mean, there are legitimate concern that in even your kid's lifetime, they may never see another
historic
monumental landing. That's why I kind of go when I went back when we were joking around about Neil Shepard and all that. Can we go back to the moon just as a commemorative thing?
Hold on, we were joking about.
Okay, I wasn't joking. Neil Shepard's a real person.
I'm sure that he is. He's probably a janitor at NASA.
He probably is, and he's patting himself on the back right now. But seriously, could we not at least show our kids that this space thing is real? It was real to us. We all saw what happened to the Challenger. We know about the Mars landing, or not the Mars landing, the moon landing. I mean, people are seeing it through the eyes of Matt Damon. I mean, come on. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
well,
let's be real here.
I get where you're coming from.
We're shooting for Venus. We need to get to Mars first.
I get where you're coming from, but I don't think this is going to be a NASA thing.
It's going to be an independent, like a Elon Musk thing?
Or a conglomerate of countries that get together, but I don't think...
But you know the problem with that is it's not a priority. To be real, I hate to say it because then I feel like we're getting political. Right now, everybody's so honed in on homeland security, investing money in subcontracting, military forces, we're not concerned with anything beyond the atmosphere.
Well, and I agree, but eventually somebody from one of the alphabet soup organizations going to point out that we could build an X-ray laser platform and put it in stationary orbit around the Earth and start taking people out, with a 9-volt battery.
Because basically, when we talked about it last week, I think, or maybe it's sometime before, the Star Wars program was essentially to build like a Death Star, right?
Not quite
the Death Star, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I would like to see some of these things come to fruition. When they announced the final shuttle launch, we all watched it, whether it was on YouTube or we watched it a day later on Facebook. I was saddened by that, because it's almost like the end of an era. I don't know. It's depressing, man.
Well, I get where you're coming from, but I think NASA's good as a research institute, but I don't feel like...
You think their time has passed as far as...
Yeah,
research and development goes?
Research, yes. Development, meh. But actually putting people into space, I feel like they've lost it. It costs too much because they don't see a dollar. They build their models in the most complicated way ever.
Right.
And it's because all the guys that are there have to add their 2 cents into it, and you can't leave out this department, and we got to have, the guys over here that design the space suits involved. Everything has to be addressed. So you talk about a simple landing on the moon mission.
Right.
We were able to do that because it wasn't this massive plan to land on the moon where we had to have redundancies upon redundancy. You know,
I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, and don't get me wrong, the pictures from space of the Earth now, you know, that they've been sitting in the last few years, that stuff's cool. And, you know, it's cool to think that, that shadow that's cast by the sun on Mars kind of looks like an alien. Those things are cool, but I want footprints. You know, what is our carbon footprint going to be on other planets? What, you know, our research. It's important. I think it's vitally important that we figure out what else is out there. It's like we haven't stopped learning about what's at the depths of the ocean, but for some reason we've hit the ceiling on space. I don't know. And I didn't mean to go too far off. But that's kind of what I feel about it.
That's cool. So, yeah, that was basically the story in a nutshell, though. Basically, they don't know where life began. And they want to get to Venus and Mars to figure it out.
To see if we started as a rock that bounced off another planet and gathered some type of amoebas or whatever. And just whatever. Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, interesting story. I always love talking about space. It never gets old because at least we know there are other planets out there. It's not like we're on a quest to seek. Because when we talk about alien life forms, my heart wants it to be E.T. But the reality of it is if we find plant life that's alien to us on Mars, then technically that's considered alien life, correct?
Yeah.
So
it counts.
I'm all for it. Let's do it. Richard Branson, get with Elon Musk. Let's get Tesla. Let's get Virgin together, and let's make something happen. Anyway,
Virgin's no more real.
Well, that's right. But Richard Branson still got a boatload of cash, and I think he still has his cherry. You know why it was named Virgin Records? Did you not know that? Because he was a virgin when he founded it. He was a virgin until he was way into his 40s. True story.
I'm calm bull.
Look it up. That's why they named it Virgin Records.
It doesn't matter.
So the guy that doesn't work in the music industry wants to argue with the guy that works for a music radio station.
I'm calling bullshit on the guy saying that he was a virgin into his 40s. I'm sorry, but if you're a multi-millionaire, if you're not a eunuch, you're not a virgin.
Okay, well, tomato, avocado.
Okay. So are you ready to get into Stuart, Virginia?
Let's get into Stewie. Stuart.
Okay. The Fairystone State Park of Stuart, Virginia. Okay, so when it comes to natural beauty, Fairystone State Park has it all. Large lakes, beautiful mountains, hikes, pristine forests. But what this park is best known for is its abundance of fairy stones. These are cross-shaped stones that were once thought to protect the wearer from evil spirits and illness.
Not to be confused with V-nuts.
No, those will not protect you from evil spirits.
So fairy stones, also known as fairy testicles. I'm joking. Anyway, I'm sorry. I was trying to make something out of nothing. You know, sometimes the magic just happens, and then other times you gotta force it in.
Sometimes you have to go out into the woods and find a fairy, and
you got to go in dry.
Shake
sometimes
the magic out of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so according to legend, the crosses are the crystallized tears of fairies who lived in the woods thousands of years ago.
You looked at me as though I'm going to automatically hit my BS buzzer.
No, I'm looking to you for comment. That's kind of how we do our show.
Is it a look or a gaze? I'm kidding. I'm just teasing. God.
Okay, so the...
You can. You can.
I can hate you. You make it really easy.
Harleyism number 100. I can hate you and you make it really easy. Write that down, Amy. Go ahead.
Okay, so he says with a straight face.
Tell us about those fae.
The words fairy, fae, and fairy, spelled F-A-E-R-I-E, came to the English from Old French, but fairies originally came from the Latin word fata or fata, which referred to the three mythological personifications of destiny.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. sorry, I did it. I did the thing that we hate the most. Wow, that's cool. Whoa, bro.
You gotta say, that's amazing. Okay, so Fada are usually described as cold, remorseless old crones or hags.
Are you sure Fada doesn't mean women? Whoa. Sorry.
Really?
Are you pulling the...
Did we just...
Are you pulling the sensitive card?
No, I'm just wondering when I joined the morning zoo.
Zinger!
Okay, so modern English inherited the fairies, the two terms fae and fairy, along with all the associations attached to them.
Do you remember
Yes,
a band called Modern English?
I do.
With Neil Sean from Journey.
And Neil Shepherd.
Neil Shepherd.
From NASA.
No, that was another band called Neil.
Was it
But it had...
Neil Young?
It had... what was his name? He had that song that... oh, God, now I can't think of his name. He had big hair.
Okay.
It was the 80s.
Yeah, that narrowed it down.
Anyway, so yeah, there was a band named Modern English. Go ahead.
Okay, so a similar word, fae, has historically meant doomed to die. F-E-Y.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly in Scotland. It was tied with the original meaning dark fairy of fate.
Cool. No. So, no. But so let me ask you this. Were tooth fairies something to fear? Now, in the original, thinking of fairies for a second while we're on the subject of how remorseless they're supposed to be, cold, are there any good fairies in the lore of the fairy?
Yes.
Not in Disney.
No, there are.
Okay.
There are, well, we'll get into it.
Okay.
But yes, there are good fairies, there are bad fairies, there are indifferent fairies.
I feel sorry for your kids that want to ask questions.
Why?
You're like, yes. Like, I didn't finish the question, Dad. Yes.
No, I just tell them to Google it.
Yeah, that's true. Connor is better at a computer than both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Okay, so fae now has a meaning. It's gained a meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Touched by otherworldly or magical quality, clairvoyant or supernatural. Those have all kind of been tied to the word fae over time.
Well, I would like to meet a psychic fairy so they could tell me my future. Does that know what they do? They're clairvoyant. Can't they tell me my future as well?
It's not what I was getting at.
What were you getting at?
The word fae has gained additional meanings throughout time.
Okay. What is wrong with me wishing that they could tell my future?
I don't know. We're taking everybody down a road and you keep like grabbing the steering wheel and going, hey, let's go off over here.
Okay. I'll let you talk. No, I'll let you talk. It's fine. Really. I will let you talk. And then when I have a decent question, I will ask.
I'm not saying your question's not decent.
Okay.
But it's not decent.
Okay. All right. I understand.
Okay, so the early Irish settlers in the area in Virginia brought with them the concept of trolls, spirits, and fairies, which is kind of how you have the legend of the fairies being in this park as part of the historical record.
So fae folk aren't limited to just these, dragonfly-sized creatures or hominids or whatever you want to call them. They can be of varying sizes and statures. And
absolutely. Yeah,
cool.
I mean, you go from the tiniest unseen creature to truck-sized trolls and...
Wow. Have you ever seen the movie Trolls?
Doesn't ring a bell. I don't know why.
Okay. Anyway.
What do you mean, anyway? What's the movie Trolls?
Well, it's either... No, it's called Troll Hunters. I'm sorry. It's called Troll Hunters. And I think it's... I want to say it's not Norwegian. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it was made. But it's not from here. What? Don't do that.
What?
You're making nose stuff, gestures with your nose and
gestures with my nose.
Yeah.
Like I'm an elephant or something?
No, like you're a mime. I don't know. You're just doing like womp, womp, pull on your nose and stuff. Like you're trying to make a different sound. You're stuck with your voice.
My voice is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. If you were trying to sell me a trip to Greece, you Italian, greasy, something, something. So anyway, tell me more. I need, give me some meat.
Some meat.
Give me something to be scared about.
All right. Some of the folklore around fairies.
Mm-hmm.
One popular belief was that they were the dead or some subclass of the dead. The banshee, with a name that means merely fairy woman, is sometimes described as being evil fairy ghosts.
Now, depictions of banshees typically that I've seen, isn't banshees are a Scottish myth, right? No? Or Irish?
I think it's Irish.
Irish. Sorry. Those scare me because they're female, right? Typically. Aren't they similar to like the sirens that seafarers have said to have heard? Aren't they similar to that? Don't they draw you to your death? No.
I do not believe so.
No. What do banshees do? Tell me.
Okay, I'm pausing the show.
Why?
So we can Google it, because you're once again asking a question that's not in the show notes.
Daddy, tell me about a banshee.
And I don't want to include the information if it's incorrect.
Daddy, tell me more about the banshees.
I'm sorry I asked a question.
I don't think that we're going to find what we're looking for under Babshee.
Or V-nuts.
Or V-nuts.
Are we literally looking this up now?
I'm looking it up right now.
As we get,
yes.
Is this staying in the show?
Yes, why not?
Yeah, because we don't know anything.
Okay, so a banshee from Irish legend. It is a female spirit who heralds the death of a member of one of the prominent Gaelic families, usually by shrieking or keening.
See, I'm out. I don't like shrieking and loud noises. It just goes all over me. Like when a baby screams, it just sends shivers down my spine, especially like in the dark. Nope. Lots of nope. Because they remind me of the Help Me, Harry Potter.
Which, okay, no.
They suck your soul. They tried to go mouth to mouth with Harry. Remember that? And suck his soul out? Soul eaters?
Yeah, soul eaters.
Soul eaters.
Amy's going to rip your tongue out.
She's going to rip my tongue out and suck my soul. Soul eaters, a.k.a. women. No, I'm kidding. Like, they remind me of that. Or the, in Lord of the Rings, the ring wraiths. Dude, ring wraiths are bad to the bone. You don't remember them?
Dude, I remember them, yes.
Well, don't give me this, like, blank, like...
I'm just waiting for you to just go completely off the rails.
I'm not! I'm drawing some similarities. Because the ring wraiths also have a shriek as they're flying around on their... That's what they do. Right?
I'm just waiting for you to say how C.S. Anderson wrote.
C.S. Anderson wrote. It's Tolkien.
Which one? John?
No, J.R.R. Tolkien.
Very good.
C.S. Lewis. No, I do like C.S. Lewis.
I said C.S. Alexander.
C.S. Alexander.
I was kind of going for the whole Neil Shepherd thing there.
Failure. So anyway, we know what a banshee is now.
Okay, so they're...
Officially. Should we feel bad, though, that we had to research that?
Dude, there are literally a billion.
Yeah, but banshee's it's one of those things, man. It's in the top tiers of like...
Again...
You ought to know.
Yeah, and I would have just messed it up. The reason I looked it up is because I had a pretty good idea, but wasn't 100% sure, especially since...
You were thinking of Sophie and the Banshees, that band from the 90s.
No, because I've been reading about fairies for the last 7 days.
So you're A fae expert. Dare I say a fae wad. What do? Are you catching Pokemon?
No. Am I catching Pokemon? Lobo is trying to get on the Travel Oddities podcast.
Tough teats.
Yeah.
Does he really want on?
I don't know. I said it depends on how much you know about Fairy Stone Park, and he said Virginia, 1936, became a park.
Geez, here we go. I don't know if I can deal with a fairy hipster, man. I can't deal with a fairy hipster.
Okay, I'll tell him that he can't be on the show because he's a fairy hipster.
I can't be shown the light on my own shows. I can't. Do you want somebody to come in and basically like we're a guest on his show?
Okay, he's being a fairy hipster, so we'll leave it live for now. There's another popular belief was that they were once an intelligent species distinct from humans and angels. There's a belief that they were a class of demoted angels. Another popular story held that when the angels revolted, God ordered the gates shut, and those that were in heaven remained angels. Those that were in hell became demons, and those caught in between became fairies.
So they revolted.
So basically, they got a fairy union up in heaven.
No, the angels. When the
angels revolted, we tried to come together in a peaceful accord. We brought the union reps in, and we tossed the scabs, and they became fairies.
Right?
Yes.
Does that not sound like an angel? Like what would the angel union be?
We're the Dreamsters.
The Dreamsters.
The Dreamsters union.
Okay, so there's another version of that.
Yeah.
That said that when the angels were cast out of heaven, the ones that were not good enough to stay in heaven were kicked out, but the ones that were not bad enough to go to hell
became the Golden
fairies.
Girls.
Became fairies.
So, in Satan's case, he was cast out. Wasn't he cast out for being too beautiful?
No.
No?
Vain.
Too vain?
Yes. He thought he was better. So then
So that song was about him?
Yes.
Okay.
Lastly, in this kind of vein of the what?
Nothing. Your eyes rolled back in your head. You're like, all I could see was the whites of your eyes. Go ahead.
So there was another version that said that fairies were devils entirely, and this particular belief became much more popular with the growth of Puritanism. So the hobgoblin was once a friendly household fairy spirit. When the Puritans came along, it became a wicked hobgoblin.
So not the son of Harry Osborn, or no, not Harry Osborn, but not the son of Green Goblin and Spider-Man.
Right.
So kids at home, the hobgoblin isn't just a comic book character in the world of Peter Parker. What?
No.
Is it the way I said it?
No, it's
Peter Parker?
Peter Parker. Okay.
Chowder.
So Fairy Stone State Park, it's located in Patrick County, Virginia.
It is.
It is the largest of the original 6 state parks that opened on June 15th, 1936.
Did you just read that from your phone?
No.
According
to Lobo, here's what Lobo knows about the Fairy Stone State Park. Virginia, 1936, became a park.
I can hear him say it.
Formations of manganese-rich cruciform stones.
Whoa,
I don't know stones. I don't even know where I went with it.
All of a sudden, he's one of the Beatles. No, it's...
How do you say stones when you're talking in Lobo?
Stones. Cruciform form stones. Virginia. Tears of the fairies. Stuart, Virginia. 1936, John F. Kennedy, greatest president of all time. No, go ahead.
Okay, so one origin story about the fairy crosses starts thusly. This cross wasn't made by man. They were created by heartbroken fairies. Many years ago, the fairies were happy. They lived in the woods not far away and were dancing when a stranger came. He'd traveled the world. He stopped to tell the fairies about the things he'd seen: pyramids, rivers as wide as seas, and the saddest death ever.
Okay, first of all, that's so typical of a human being. I mean, look at Facebook. Everybody's having a good time. Oh, yeah. I went here and here. And then somebody's like, oh, I'm glad you had fun at your party. I found out I had terminal cancer. And it's like, all of a sudden the feed turns into like this prayer sermon. Why does some human got to come along and go, yeah, and I saw these rivers and pyramids, and like the little kid fairies are sitting there like, tell us another story, human man. And then he's like, oh, and then there was the saddest death I ever saw. Whap, whap. Like, come on, why are you doing this? The saddest death you've ever seen? You just told us about the magical pyramids and the rivers and the streams. And now it's like, oh, but I didn't tell you about the part where the guy died. And they're like, oh, no. We're going to cry. I mean, why would you do that to these fae folks?
Okay, so a man who said he was the son of God had spent his life healing people and spreading love. The stranger told the fairies that some men were afraid of Jesus and threatened by him, so they captured him, nailed his hands and feet to a cross. They whipped him, starved him, and let him die.
This sounds like the sales pitch of the door-to-door Mormons, or the Jehovah's Witnesses when they come to the house.
Let me tell you about the pyramids.
And you're like, oh, cool. Yeah, where do I sign up? Oh, wait a second. We got to tell you about this first.
Okay, so in the story, the fairies had never heard anything so sad. They began to weep, and when their magic tears splashed against the earth, they suddenly crystallized and were frozen forever in the shapes of little crosses.
Cute. And now they're being sold as trinkets and jewelry to the Virginians and the tourists. Now, the cool thing about this park we haven't mentioned, is unlike most parks where they're like, don't touch the rocks. You're welcome to come and pick up rocks and do as you will, right? If you can find them.
Well, as I was doing research, they have hunts for these things, and they'll have like an arts and crafts class after the rock hunt to make things out of the rocks.
They're not rocks.
Crystals.
They're tears.
I'm sorry.
The tears of...
Fairy tears.
Fae tears.
Yes. Okay, so the fairy stones, as they are called by the Blue Ridge Mountain people, were considered good luck pieces and were worn or carried to ward off illnesses, accidents, and denizens of the netherworld.
Or Disney. So don't wear one when you go to Disneyland. Denizens of the underworld. For instance.
Demons.
What else?
Other demons.
The devil.
I don't know. I don't think that the devil...
He's not considered a denizen of the underworld?
I don't think so. I think he's...
What is it, lichens and vampires?
I'm just saying, I think that it's primarily demons. Maybe some imps.
What does the devil do? Sit around and eat Hitler's butt? I don't know.
All right.
Oh, God. Don't do that.
I'm sorry.
You have no response to me saying, what does the devil do? Or sit around and eat Hitler's butt. You have no response to that.
No.
Why?
Why should I?
Would it not be a cruel and unusual punishment to have the devil munch on your butt cheek for eternity? If you're Hitler.
Again, head shake sound effect.
Okay.
Okay, so according to psychic researcher...
You make me look worse.
Ian Allen, psychic researcher.
Is he like a ancient alien theorist?
No, he's a psychic researcher.
Oh, okay. Well, I know, but is that the similar? Are they kind of in the same ballpark?
No.
Okay, because he's psychic.
No, he's a psychic researcher.
So he researches psychic phenomena.
That's what I would understand a psychic researcher's job to be.
Okay.
So, according to Ian Allen, These stones can bestow upon any person carrying them some very interesting powers.
The power of heavy pockets if you carry too many of them.
1, great physical and mental prowess.
I need some physical and mental prowess. I've been drinking a lot of water, but I could really use some mental prowess.
I wonder if it works like Viagra, like physical prowess.
Well, what if you, so if you experience physical prowess for more than 4 hours, do you consult a palm reader?
I think you consult a psychic researcher.
So if you're a psychic researcher, honest question here, do they know you're researching them already?
Do the psychics know that you're a psychic researcher?
Right. But couldn't they throw you off somehow? Like throw the trail off if they know you're trying to research them?
I don't know.
How does a rock have psychic properties? See, I'm of the Miss Cleo generation of psychic. So, calling out for your free reading. Rest in peace, Miss Cleo. Psychic means not just reads minds and predicts the future, right?
It has a whole lot of iterations, yeah.
Okay.
A whole lot.
For example,
psychics have been known to do all sorts of things. Uri Geller considers himself a psychic, and he bends spoons.
He's a fake. I said fake. By the way, Uri Geller, he still does it. And he's been debunked by Randy many times. Psychic. Who else? What was the doctor? What's his name?
Who?
Casey.
Edgar
Casey. He was psychic as well.
Damn it.
What?
I shouldn't have said Edgar, and you'd have said, like, Toby?
Yeah, Toby Casey. Casey and the Sunshine Band? You're leaving me in the mire here. Are you going to truncate the silence?
Yeah, probably.
I'm curious about psychic phenomena.
What are you trying to? What is your overall question?
So psychic is a broad word.
Yes,
it can be related. This could have my cup could have psychic properties.
Sure.
If it's said to have psychic properties.
Yeah, if you got a high level wizard to imbue it with some psychic powers.
It's a Uri Geller. It's like the Yeti, but it's a Uri Geller cup.
Okay. So number 2 on the list.
I hate you so much. Go ahead.
These stones.
Yes.
Can give you the ability to traverse heaven and hell.
Where would you go if you had that ability? Where would you go?
I'm not going to hell.
Why?
I don't think I would want to spend like 2 seconds in hell.
Billy Joel said it best. The prophet Billy Joel said it best. I'd rather laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. The sinners are much more fun.
Mm-hmm.
But then the following is only the good die young. So if you didn't have to die to go there, you wouldn't even pop your head and go, oh, I'm just coming into... You wouldn't go in there with like a snow cone and go, hey, what's up?
No, because just because you have the ability to traverse hell doesn't mean that you don't experience it, for starters. So, and then with everything that I've read about hell, there are a whole lot of situations where even just being there could have ridiculously unseen consequences.
So going to hell doesn't pass the smell test with you. You'd rather go to heaven.
If I'm going on vacation.
Okay, so hypothetically, the Yeti $40 cup, ice is supposed to stay for how long?
24 hours.
In hell, how long does it last?
Well, I don't know, because time really loses its meaning if you believe what's written about hell. A couple of seconds could be an eternity in hell.
I always think of South Park when it's like, oh, come on, Saddam. Leave me alone, Satan. They're like lovers or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so number 3 on the list. I'm sorry,
That's a harsh edit. It's going to sound like you went, like you just cut me off. Go, number 3.
Number 3, precognitive sight and hearing.
I need the sight. I've got pretty good hearing, but I would love to have precognitive sight.
You want to see it before it happens? But your hearing's good, so right now you don't need precognitive hearing because your hearing is so good that you can hear the future.
Well, here's the thing. When I was a kid, The TV could be on in another room with the volume turned down, and I could hear it. True story. I could feel the waves. True story.
Can I call bullshit on this show?
No, you can't. True story. We could go to your house this weekend and do it, and I'll do it.
Again, you said we could go to your house this weekend and do it.
Not it, but
That's
experiment
all you
with
said.
it.
You stopped.
And
we
do
can
it.
go to your house this weekend and do it.
I didn't say do it to each other, which that would be wrong anyway. It'd be doing it with each other, right? I could prove it to you. You won't go to hell because of what you've read. But if I tell you I can hear electronics in another room.
You can hear the television when it's turned down.
Yes. I don't hear sound. I don't hear whatever the program is.
You can just hear the electronics. You can hear the hum.
I can hear the hum.
Okay. I can buy that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't hear what they're saying.
No. I can hear the hum.
Okay. And you're willing to trade that in on being able to hear the future.
Yes, I want to be able to hear a TV that's turned down in another room rather than hear the future.
Okay. The last thing on the list. Invisibility.
I don't know.
Shut your mouth.
I don't know. Meh.
You wouldn't want to have the ability to be invisible.
Okay, yes. Because let's think about it. The ring to be all rings, from Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
That cloaking ability
was bomb.
It's pretty bomb. In Smaug, when he had to hide from Smaug, or Smaug, sorry, Smaug, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I'll go with invisibility, but again, much like Lord of the Rings, will you use your power for good or evil?
I don't know that I can legally answer that question.
I mean, it'd be fun at the drive-through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, invisibility, what would you do with it? Legitimately, besides raid every college campus between here and the eastern seaboard.
I don't know.
Because but here's the problem. Use your invisibility and you think, I'm going into the girls' locker room. Well, as it states now, it's transgender.
Okay, I'm not having this conversation.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so according to Ian Allen,
whatever,
he also says there might be some negative side effects.
What would that be?
You might draw the attention of ghosts.
Okay.
You might... Go ahead.
I don't have an issue with transgender people at all. I love everyone. I'm just saying you can't choose. I don't know how you feel about it.
I can't choose what?
You can't choose what bathroom you go into. It's mix and match now.
I don't think that's the case.
You don't think so?
I'm pretty sure I went into a men's bathroom.
And a woman was peeing.
There were no women in the men's bathroom.
I'm saying it, but it's okay to do that.
I don't have an issue with it.
I'm saying is I wasn't being a certain way. What I'm saying, if you're going to choose, if you're one of those people that's going to choose invisibility to raid every college chick's dorm room bathroom from here to the eastern seaboard,
you're just going to see a lot more dong.
You're probably going to see a lot more dong than you care to.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So, according to Ian Allen,
okay,
negative side effects, attracting the attention of ghosts, which
meh
depends. I've seen some pretty freaky ghost movies.
Yes.
So having the attention...
by the way, Lights Out isn't one of them, but go ahead.
Okay.
That's a movie that just came out recently, Lights Out.
Yeah.
It's,
There haven't been a whole lot of great movies lately. Not to get off on a tangent.
No, I think the last really good movie I saw was Batman versus Superman.
Yeah. Also...
For the record, he hated that movie. Go ahead.
I didn't hate the movie. It was a good popcorn flick.
Oh, okay.
So, another negative side effect, extreme bad luck.
Bring it.
So you would take the invisibility if...
There's always... That's also, I always say, that's the thing. There's always going to be a side effect to anything. Prime example.
I'm listening.
Viagra. Yes. The ultimate goal is to be on. But Side effects may include, so this is just another side effect. You may get bad luck. You may be followed by ghosts. But if it doesn't give you invisibility, then I would be pissed.
Well, and again, his list doesn't say if you carry one of these, you're going to have the power of invisibility.
What I mean is, here's the thing. Even if I had profuse diarrhea, as long as I'm invisible, then it's just like it looks like diarrhea just coming out of nowhere. That's even cooler.
Yeah.
Is my diarrhea invisible? Is what you're going to ask. Your next question was going to be.
No, that wasn't going to be it at all. But you're invisible, and guess what? You've got cancer. That's bad luck. That's extreme bad luck.
Okay, well, guess what? I'm invisible for 6 months until I die. Dude, tell me you wouldn't just stay invisible just to be a dick.
Yeah, I would probably just be a raging dick all the time.
But here's the other thing, too. There has to be some side effect to you being, okay, example. I'm using this example. Stranger Things, 11. Yes, she had the ability. She had telekinesis. Nosebleeds. I mean, yes. So there's got to be some side effects, like some, I don't know, some vertigo or something when you go in and out of transparency. Am I wrong?
No, I agree with you.
So, I mean, take your pick. It's like a genie in a bottle. You got to be really specific, or you're going to end up. Be careful what you wish for, basically.
Agreed. So on a completely unrelated note to the Fairy Stone Park, sheep squatch.
Is this a real thing?
Yes, it's a real thing.
Okay.
Sheep squatch has been sighted in the area and will be sighted again on the Travel Oddities podcast.
So is it half man,
half sheep, half Sasquatch.
Half Sasquatch. 3 halves make a whole.
Yes.
In the world of cryptids and hominid creatures and things of that nature, it defies all logic. It defies all mathematical reason. So 3 halves make a whole.
Agreed.
Okay.
So skeptical view.
I have none. Good God Almighty.
Did that really happen in there?
Yeah, it really happened. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so the mystery of the fairy stones can be solved easily by science.
And how is that?
The stones are storolite. It's a combination of silica, iron, aluminum, which is only found in rocks that have been subjected to intense heat and pressure. The mineral crystallizes at 60 or 90 degree angles, hence the cross shapes that we see today.
Okay.
So that's the scientific answer on why the stones are shaped like crosses.
What do you think? It could be anything. You're open.
No.
You're open to fairy tears.
No, I understand the science behind it. Doesn't make it any less interesting.
It doesn't for me.
Doesn't take away from Ian Allen's theories.
Mm-hmm.
I do take issue with his theory in general. I found the information about his book. If he's saying that having one of these stones will probably give you one of these powers, then I'm going to have to call BS, because there'll be a whole lot of Boy Scout troops that are disappearing or, accidentally walking to hell in and around this area. And that's not a common occurrence. At least that's not commonly reported.
And where's the instructions on how to go? It's not Alakazam, Alakazazzle. I mean, it's not a Harry Potter spell.
No.
Like
I think it's probably
Alcoholum Patronum.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Alcoholum Patronum.
Your Patronus is a
is a bottle of tequila.
Okay. Deal with that.
Just Alcoholum Patronum. What is one of his spells? You don't know?
I'm not helping you.
It's freaking abracadabra, dude.
No.
It's not? Anyway.
Is that how we're ending that anyway?
You say to me, okay.
Yeah, but that's the end of the show. We've
reached it.
So we're always looking for your feedback. Give us a shout out on the online
7865 Oddity.
Right. On Facebook at Travel Oddities Podcast.
Yes.
On the Twitter.
On the Twitters. We're over 1,000 on Twitter.
It's over 1,100.
Over 1,100. Son of a... Help us get to 2 Gs. Well, by the time you get this, we may be there. Maybe. I don't know.
It's coming out in like an hour, dude.
It does come out. Okay. I'm just saying.
Okay, so Twitter is at travel_oddities. Lastly, iTunes.
iTunes 5-star reviews.
Subscribe, review, stars.
And most importantly, if you're big on Facebook, like, share. Sharing is caring, especially in this particular instance.
In social media.
Social media in general. Share, retweet. You know the drill. You guys know how to do this stuff. Get out there, do it. Show your asses.
Show your asses?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's going to happen. I'm going to start closing the show like that. Just show your asses.
This has been the Travel Oddities Podcast. Show your asses.
Show your asses.
I'm Brett.
I'm Harley. Peace.
Peace.